Hey everyone, after a very eventful Twitter space,
Yeah.
we are here on YouTube to talk about the one thing that we love talking about, the academy. So today we'll be talking about Manchester United women under 21s, who are also called the Devs, as they buckle up for yet another double charge. They are top of the table in the Northern Division, and we are in the final of the League Cup. So it's an exciting time to be a United fan, I'd say. We are doing well on all platforms, on all areas. So it's going good. We've got Natalie with us to talk about the academy. She has first-hand experience of watching the team, so she'll be able to give brilliant insights about the team. So yeah, welcome Natalie. Let's get right onto it. How are you, first of all? Today you went to
Yeah,
saw the team, so how was it?
yeah, it was so good. Like you said, I've not got fit. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I probably know a lot more than a lot of people just because I've been watching it for a long time. I know all the players, even the players that, are kind of new. I know them. I mean, there was a lot of new players. I heard you talk on the space and you said, players like um um players like Alicia Hearn, Jess, Rebecca May. Um, who else was there on the bench? Hearn, Barry. These were all on the bench, and these are girls that have won us games single handedly. These are ready to go now. A lot of them are playing in tier three. Barry has been playing, won games for Derby, put them up there. Hearn played for Burnley, put them up there. I mean, Emma Taylor, who did start playing for Burnley, but you can see the difference with Emma now, especially, I think, and the way she plays, because you can tell, like, the power in her shots, in the way that she kicks the ball. There's still little things that I think they all need to work on. We know that with academy football, they're always working, but I can just see the difference. I mean, even you talked about Safia Middleton, and the difference in her. She's played a few games for Coventry, and she just looks like a different player to me now. From when I first saw her to now, she is different class. I mean, she's the reason potentially why we won today. We won 3-2. It wasn't easy, I'm not gonna lie. But she made some fantastic saves. I was watching it like that's a goal. And maybe a couple of years ago, when she didn't have the experience of first team, of training with Mary, of all these things, of playing up, then it would have been a goal. And I feel like that's it. It's development. They're getting better. Saf is definitely getting better. Like I said, and Emma's getting better, and it's through playing the football. But there was a lot of young players as well that have coming in, and you think, God, you remind me of Kira, and you're not, and it's just I suppose they're the under 16s that is coming through, but I'm really excited for our academy, and what we've got planned. I mean, this is saying, can we win the double again? It's going to be tough, but we're in and amongst it, and that's where we always want to be. We want to be amongst it, competing, and we are, and we're competing with our under 16 team basically. This isn't loads of it. Yeah, there's a trickle of experience, but it's not loads of players. Sorry, I'm just had to turn the gas off. um, but yeah, it's so refreshing. It's so good to see the young players and to see, like I said, Saf, the way she's come on, it's just so good, and I love to see it. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Lancel's.
think yeah, Lanzel is here, so yeah, I was
Yeah, you
going to
okay,
talk
bro?
about it. Hope you're going doing good, Lanzel. So I think you're right. We are competing with our under 16s team. We are competing with a team who didn't play a big part last year. There are some players like we've got Emma Taylor, we've got Safia in goal. So there are players who did the double last time, but there are some new players as well. You didn't have Fi last season. You didn't have Tamara Livingston. You didn't have Ruby Scott last season properly. So there are these new players who are coming in, and I think
Mm,
from what you've told me, they've got they've got glimpses of brilliance. So we've
mm,
seen them play well. So it isn't the end of the day. Even though we don't have our perfect devs team right now.
Mm,
But how we started the season, because there were fears that this team might not be able to do the double again because they are making the transition right now. A lot of players have graduated, and we need to, that obviously when new players come in, it'll take some time for them to settle in as well. But
mm,
what a brilliant job the coaching staff have done. So Lewis
yeah.
Craig's Barmy Army, Charlotte Tilly's Barmy Army doing very well. So
Yeah.
something about that, Nat.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, isn't it? I mean, I've even forgot Ella's one that is playing at Burnley. Whereas she, I think she's a bit injured at the minute, but and there's other talk about that. But she's playing first team, so that's another one who now midfield who massively sort of missed. But you talked about like Ruby Scott. She came in at the wing back. Jess isn't there. She came in at full back, and it was just it's like a little baby Jess. When I first saw Jess, that's what she's like. And I looked at Anna Fletcher, Holly Deering. These are the girls that, I mean, Sash McTiffin came on, played really well for Emma, but Sash, Holly, even Megan. Last year they came in right at the end, so they're now the 21s, more senior. But then, like you're saying, Ruby, Anna, they're sort of coming in because and doing what sort of Holly and Megan did last year. They now being those main joining the likes of Megan. I mean, Megan Sofield, everyone knows what I think about her. For me, I don't want to gas her, and I'm seeing Lanzell saying about the pathway, and it is tough. It is. Listen, I would say people like Jess, Saf, Ella, even Chloe and Neve. These are dev players that won the title last year, and now look, they're playing. They've not even played 21s. They've just fully been with first team, been with Blackburn, and Neve won Player of the Month in Blackburn. Chloe's just got a first goal, and I mean that's the gap. This is Blackburn who are at the bottom of the championship, and we're talking about winning league, so it is going to take time, but it can be done because I'm looking at Emma Hayes, and they brought on 3 development players, but I suppose they've got a stronger squad than us. They're sort of whoever put in that team, they'll win. They'll know what they're doing, and we're not really at that point. I feel like we're still developing our first team, maybe, and our depth needs to get stronger. But I do want to see the Aherns, the Barrys, Chloe. Like I said, she scored to now for Blackburn, so they're showing they can do it. I mean, I think Ahern is ready for Ahern and Barry should be bottom of the WSL minimum. We're seeing Carrie doing it for Leicester. That's where they should be. They should be that kind of level. Bottom of the WSL. I mean, look at Grace. Maybe top of the championship is better because Grace is scoring a lot of goals for Bristol. But yeah, I just talking about Sofield. For me, she is the way that she strikes a ball is just so like you're saying there, different gravy. Just it's the technique in a shot. There's still areas that I know that she needs to work on. Lewis was shouting, Charlotte said things, she'll know. But I just think the way that we're talking about Leslie, right? And I don't want to compare her to that, but eventually, that could be where she's at. That's where we want her to be, yeah? So we're talking about Leslie. Leslie is more a technical player. This girl is a 9. When she gets the ball in that box, there's nothing. These people were putting their bodies on the line to stop her because when she got it in the box and she took, that was it, goal. That was it on target. That was it. The keeper was having to do all kind of madness. And I was thinking, yo, this girl, there's just something about her. And listen, she's about 17, 18. So let me just calm myself. But there's just something about her. And she's not like Leslie. Leslie will pick it up and run with it and do this. That's not her. I'm not saying she can't run with it. I'm not saying she can't run onto a ball. But that's not her. Her is where I want to see Megan is just in the centre, just like a proper 9, just, then whipping the balls in because that's how she
A
got the first
poacher,
goal.
a poacher
Poacher, yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Whipping the balls in. It was even Tamara Livingston that we talked about, come from the under 16, so she's about 15, 16 now. Whipped it in. Probably it was going towards goal, but she just got that last touch. Like sort of how Paris did versus Durham when Millie was heading it towards goal, but he needed that extra person, and that was just what Megan is, what Megan's all about. In that box, no one's touching Megan. It's, I don't want to gasp because I've gasped players before, and obviously there's different levels. Let's put her in the championship. Like I said, top end of the championship, middle, see how she does. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I know they like Blackburn because it's local. I know they like Sheffield because it's local. But the top end is London. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see who comes up. Let's if Burnley come up, let's put her there, kind of thing, and see what happens. I mean, they're investing. They might want, but yeah, I just think it's mad. It's good. Um, yeah. I mean, I'm seeing Lanzelli said Kinzet, Cena Hearn. These are ready. I know I don't want to gasp, but they're doing well in tier 3 or the bottom of the thing. Simpson. I went to see her the other day. We played in the semi-final. She was the bloody best. She was like honour, but this is what I'm saying. They're above the academy level now. They're above them ones that we know that people know the names of. Kinzet, Ahern, Barry, Simpson, Saf. They're above that academy level for me now. And they
I
should be in
think,
the
yeah,
championship.
I totally agree with you, Nat. And people might say, why can't they be in United team? But the issue is they won't be able to get game time for United. So, and you're too good for the academy, so you have to go somewhere. And it's these dual registrations, it's these loans that will help them more than playing in academy, because we've already seen them. Like you mentioned, Kiera Barry, Alicia Ahern, Safia, Jess Simpson. They've already proved themselves in the academy last season, the season before that. And you can't always constantly play in the academy. We are seeing Poppy Lawson do so well for her club in Scotland. So why is it that? Because she needed that first team experience, and she's finally gotten it. And I feel uh, maybe none of them make it at United. Maybe there's a chance nobody makes it at United, but they've got the talent. And you mentioned Chloe Williams scoring her first goal. Guess who gave the assist? Neve
Neve,
Murphy.
yeah.
It's the
The
United
link up,
connection,
man.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, this is what I'm saying. I mean, people saying, can we loan to Bristol? Yeah, we can. I mean, like you're saying, I think Jewel is very important because the one who I saw today, who was very key to us in this and helping the younger ones, because there's a girl called Maisie Davis,
Davis.
and
Yeah,
she's in the I think she's in the 17s or the 19s of Wales. She is really good, like
17s, 17s.
17s, but I think she's the
Yeah,
captain. And she was at City. She's come to United now in the academy, and
yeah.
she's just really good. She just, it's like we had Poppy there, and everyone knew of Poppy. Like you said, she's doing so well in thing, but like Maisie is like the Poppy now. Like you're saying, she's in the under 17s. You can tell they need to be a bit more vocal with each other, talking, but that'll all come. That'll all grow. But the one who I thought helped Maisie was Emma, and Emma's on a dual. So Burnley, when they play on a Sunday, she will go and play with them after just playing there. And I suppose Emma is playing in Burnley where she's learning off big grown women, and playing against big grown women. And then she can come back to the devs and teach up, bring Maisie up with her. And I feel like that's what we've got in our devs. And I mean, I've seen a lot of people. Yes, Antonio, they're into another final and they're top of the league. So this is what we're talking about. Are they going to win the double again? But like I was just saying, Emma, she's going out. Even Kira and all that. Jess was on the bench, right? And I don't know if she's injured or not, but like you said, we're talking about these. And she was saying, right, come on, girls. Right, Anna, you need to do this. Right, Ruby, you need to do that. Ruby's in her position. She's telling her, and this is what I feel like the duel does help. They can come back and teach it, and then that gives them another skill, leadership. Because the ones that are good at it will thrive at it. But then when they go into the first team, big, proper first team, I don't want them to fade away or be shy or this. I want them to be able to speak and tell them and say and do this because listen, I'm playing on the first team. I'm coaching up people. I can hold my own, and I feel like this duel will help. When is it? It's on Antonio. It's on the 23rd. It's the day when the men play the against Brighton.
23rd. 23rd April,
23rd of April. It's going to be
3
live
p.m.
on the FA Player. It's versus Chelsea.
3
Um,
p.m. kickoff.
3 p.m. So I don't know when the men are. I don't know, but there's a way. If you got all your screens, if you're at one game, watch it on another. That's what I'll be doing, or I might try and do two. I don't know, but you can watch. There's going to be a link. I really would push everyone to watch it if they can, or just watch it with the sound off, or I don't know, but just watch both if you can. It's really important, Antonio, because these girls are so good. The one I want to touch on, Anna Fletcher, for me, she's in that midfield. She was pushing forward. And Bella, actually, Bella Reedford pushing forward. We went 1-0 up, we went 1-1, we went 2-1 up, we went 2-2, and then finally we went 3-2 up right near the end. But Bella was the one who assisted the second goal, assisted the third goal, and she's one that, like we're saying, Bella is one that I'd like to again get a duel maybe next year. I don't know what the plans are for
She
all these kids.
she's the captain, right?
Yeah, yeah, because she's been there the longest now.
Yeah.
Um,
She got an ACL injury last
yeah,
season,
last
so that's
year.
why she couldn't play.
She
Yeah.
missed the double really last year. She was still there and she was about, but she wouldn't have seen it as hers. Poppy was the captain.
Yeah.
She was recovering really, wasn't she? So this is really her time now to shine, and you know, she sort of sits deep like the six. I mean, it sort of reminds me of what Mark was saying, the way that the players sit deep and then dictating the play from deep. That's what she was doing, and that's how the third goal sort of came about. She just was in her own half and just clipped the ball over right onto um, Eleanor's foot. I mean, Eleanor, someone who played toward a bits and bobs last year through the middle, this and that, but obviously Connor and Maz were here a lot, and she finally, it
Exactly.
was sort of towards the end, she got her chances, and now she's like sort of the main girl, not centrally on the wing. That's where I like it. That's where I like her to play, and that's where I think when she is running centrally, she's great. Um,
I think when Sofield isn't there, when she's unavailable, then Eleanor Ashton can play as the nine. But
yeah,
when you have Sofield, you cannot play Sofield on the
yeah.
wings because she's a poacher. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I mean, I just want to touch on what Antonio said here um, about they look technically good. They are technically good. They are technically very, very good. Durham were pressing them high and they were playing out of the press, turning in the press. It was very great. And you mean the 1-2 passing in tight spaces, it was good to see. But the thing is with them that everyone knows Durham, and I'm not disrespectful when I say this, and maybe they will take me disrespectful. I don't mind, but Durham like to kick, like to do this, like to do that, rough and tumble, yeah. And I feel like sometimes as well, Durham went very direct. Durham were running at us, pressing us. When we've lost to Everton, we've lost to Leicester, and I've had people say to me, "Oh, but how are you losing to these teams? These teams are no good." Bloody, bloody, bloody. But no, Durham are very good. Very good. They're very good at what they do. Leicester, very good at what they do. Very direct. Everton, development team. And that's the one area where I feel that they struggle. And I feel like, physical as well. In tackles, strong. I'm not saying they're not strong, because there's a lot of them that are strong. Layla Proctor in the middle is very, very strong. But I just feel like, especially when you step up to big adult, times, they're going to kick you like nothing. They're going to kick you because if you're technically gifted, the way that they're going to make, you know what I'm saying? When the men used to play Stoke, we're so gifted, and the way that they're going to beat them is by kicking you. And even in this development team, um, the ref was letting them get away with everything. Get away with everything. But in a minute, United started to get that bit physical. Boom, foul. And, I had a little shout out with the Durham coach, and he was like, I was like, give over, that's not a foul. And he's like, shut up. And I was like, but. And then we scored a goal, and it was offside, and I started cheering, and they all turned around and looked at me. But then when Eleanor scored, that was it. I was like, cheer now, laugh now. But the girls, they appreciate it. So, that Loughborough game, I was saying, anyone can get there as well. Go, because you're allowed to watch. So if anyone's in the Loughborough area, on what date was it again? Atanu, did we say?
23rd.
23rd. Go down. Loughborough University. Go down 3 o'clock. I want people to be there. I'm gonna try and see what's happening with the Arsenal game. If the Arsenal game change, these things. That's me. I'll see if I can get there. But if you are in that area and you're doing nothing and you like Man United and you want to see this team, Loughborough, go down, free entry, take your kids, whatever, because I just feel like they need the support. They want that support. If they have people cheering them, it's going to be good for them because Chelsea are a very good side, and we can't take it easily. But I do still think that this team is the best. Still, like I said, it's not the best creme de la creme when we were winning 5-0 every game, but we will grind it out to win. Yeah.
And like even if you can't go to that, but we've got another other games as well. We play Chelsea on 2nd April, which is in London, Cobham Training Centre. If somebody's from London, maybe they can go there. If somebody's wants is in is in Manchester, they can go for the City game, which is on 16th April. And then 3 days after that, we play Villa, which is like the big game because it will decide whether we
Who
go
wins?
or whether Villa go in the Northern Division. I don't know how there is this adjustment thing that happens a lot because Villa have one game less than us, but they're still level on points with us. So there is this some adjustment thing that happens when you play cross division. For example, if you play Northern versus Southern, there is some adjustment that happens in the number of points. So maybe that adjustment happens again, and we go live ahead of them. So there's this chance as well. But yeah, some good games for United Academy. And Lancel, like Nat also talked about it, and Lancel also touched it in the comments that my fear is what is the pathway to get them into the first team. We've seen Safia. She's been around the matchday squad a lot lately, but now she's playing for Coventry, I think. Yeah, Coventry. Uh, we got Jess Simpson a few times. We got Kira Barry, Alicia Ahan on one or two occasions. But nobody in a long time has actually broken into the first team, into the United first team. I know I talked about, it doesn't matter if they break into the United first team or another first team, but I'd like to see, somebody from the academy now to, just, to have a similar impact like Marcus Rashford had for the men's team, something like what Scott McTominay did in the backup role in the squad depth role. So something similar to that. And I was actually thinking, okay, for example, if we manage to get Russo on for permanent, we might need to go after another striker, maybe an upgrade on the existing strikers, other than Russo. So after that, why do we need to spend on wingers? Why can't we, integrate the likes of Alicia Ahan and Kira Barry into the first team? And I'm not saying that start them, but bring them on around the 75th minute, give them the game time that they want. And Alicia Ahan has been playing so well for Burnley as well. I'd like to say she's just she's just too good for them right now. She is ready for that next jump as well. So a championship club maybe, and I'd say, like, this is my biased opinion, that I'd like to see either Kiera or Alicia uh, in the first team next season. Playing some minutes. I'm not saying start them, but this is how the pathway will develop over a period of time. You can't actually expect them to start from the get go, but you make these changes around the 85th minute, around the 89th minute. Why not bring the development players on? I actually expected a few development players against the side that faced Lewis, but I think a lot of them are injured, so there's this issue as well. But
Yeah.
Nat, what do you think?
I think as well with them and Lewis, I think he's so worried. I think where we're at now, we have that pressure of having to qualify, of having to do this. And I'm not saying that they can't handle it or this and that, but I do want to see them. Of course I do. I want to see them. And I feel like Barry and Ahern are those ones. They should be promoted. They're the next ones. I mean, last time I saw her, I mean, Antonio was saying technically she was better than what she was in that final. Technically, she was better. And I just think that development is coming on so much. And I just think The times now, the times now. And I mean, yes, she's doing so well for Burnley. She came on every appearance she's made for Burnley, she's scored. Let's be let's not be let's be serious. You know, she's either scored or assisted. That's how much of an impact she's had on them. I know there was talk. You know, I don't think it's going to happen now. I don't know what's happening with her, but there was little light talks that I heard that she might have gone to Sheffield. And that's I would have liked to have seen that, because I like to see her in the 20 in the the next level up, because Burnley she was too good for. I'm telling you that now.
And
Um,
it's like at even if like I don't know whether the Sheffield move is happening or not, but
I don't know.
their coach has like Sheffield's new
Saying it
manager is
before, yeah.
Burnley's old manager.
Burnley's old manager, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
Jonathan
what's
Morgan. Yeah.
fully going on with her. I don't know if she's injured or what. We see her in the training with the first team. For me, her and Barry, they're ready now. And I feel like, for example, he's talking about building the depth in the attack, yeah, and saying, "Oh, wait, I'm going to rotate more, blah blah blah," when we're playing midweek. So for me, I feel like games like next year, say if whatever Bristol or Leicester stay up or whatever, that's where I want to see her now. I want to see her and Barry, like you're saying, they don't even have to start, but come on for 20 minutes. We're seeing it with Chelsea, and I know our squads are different, but I hear what you're saying. I don't think, but then he's not really playing. I feel like maybe he'll get a replacement from like maybe someone like Leon and Thomas. But then after that, yeah, bring in Barry and
Like
Manaman.
of course there's this issue that players who are on the bench aren't getting game time. I do get that, but next season when we play UWCL, when I'm not saying if, I'm saying when because I'm hopeful. But when we play UWCL, you need to have a good big squad. We'll play Conti Cup games as well. We'll play FA Cup as well, and down the line we might even have a Europa League if we don't qualify for UWCL. So like more competitions are coming in, and over a period of time, I'd say we'll see the WSL getting expanded to more teams. So you need to be on your A game right now, and I mean, these players, you look at the way Ahan is playing at Burnley, you've already mentioned it, Nat. The way Jess is playing for our academy, it's just unreal how good these players are at the level that they're playing. They're better than that. They deserve to do better than that. And I think you mentioned towards the start of the video the example of Grace Clinton. I know she's not from our academy, but she's also a young player who was signed from Everton. She didn't get to play, but now look at her. She's scoring every day, I feel. Like in every game she's having an assist or a goal. So that is something, you have the talent. You just need to help them improve it, and I don't see any better way than a championship loan or a loan towards the bottom half of the WSL sides. And I'd say maybe if somehow we can manage to send one or two of our players to Aston Villa under Carla Ward, I feel she'll transform these players a lot the way she's transformed the whole side. But yeah, uh, Grace Clinton, a very good example. Chloe Williams is doing well now for Blackburn. For on a dual. So dual is the way to go. I feel a few days back you put out a tweet that people don't realize the importance of a dual registration. You get to play for the academy as well. You get to train and you get to experience the match day experience of a first team of a senior team. Be it at United, because sometimes even at United you don't get into the match day squad. So you go to on a dual registration to other clubs, and I feel you know more than the academy development, I feel the real development happens when you play at the senior level, even if it is in the tier 3, tier 4 to tier 2, doesn't matter, because you get to know how to handle wins professionally, how to handle losses professionally, what to say in press conferences, what fans expect, how you behave yourself off the pitch, and you get to learn a lot of things. And I feel uh, dual registration is the way to go, and I hope we see more of it on a regular basis now.
Yeah, I mean, even you just brought something up how fans like seeing. Um, I've seen pictures of like Neve and Chloe going to like signing sessions and meeting kids and these kind of things. They're learning this, and so if when they come back to United, it's that they're ready. That expectation is obviously higher at United, but they're ready to come back. Like now, that it's just gone 1-1, but there'll be fans there going, "Oh, come on, girls, pick it up." There'll be fans there celebrating that Chloe scored, this kind of thing, and you know, I do think, like you're saying, Jewel is a good way. You need to grow it. It's a bit different when they are signed. I want them to sign. I want them to know that they're part of it. But then at the same time, it is that difference when they are signed, and you can't really do Jewels anymore. It's full loans that they go on, like Tara's on a full loan, Carrie's on a full loan. But yeah, I do think they do need that kind of. I don't know. We need to know. Lanzell saying we should be promoting more. I do want to see more. I feel like, even the ones that are coming in now, like Tamara is looking really good, and Tamara Livingston, she's from the 16s. And I just want to say as well, we talk about Faye, we talk about Zabia, Saf, Tamara, Livingston. These are all young girls, and we're talking about, like, look at me and you. They represent Asian, black, mixed race. However they want to define themselves, but it is important because you can't see it, you can't be it, and seeing, we're talking about, a lot of people talk about the Lioness squad being a very white, and I know that not all Lionesses, South Wales, but this kind of thing, and to see more people from local, but
The
love
representation
colour.
wasn't there back
Yeah, way
before.
back
Yeah,
at the start, but now it's starting to grow. And to see that as well, it's important. Shows that there's things, whatever they've tried to put in place. I know they've got these ETC now, and they're trying to reach out to more of the community. It's obviously working. And some of these young players, they're making the mistakes. I remember when Charlotte first came in, Poppy was making mistakes. The Maz was making mistakes. Kana, the ones that everyone sort of knows of, were all making mistakes. And then eventually, like you're saying, through these duels, through playing a lot together, like you're saying, I feel like the duel, it helps them because they can go out, come back, and then they're getting more experiences. But yeah, I do want to see more. I mean, what do you think, Atanu? I know I'm talking about the Sevs, and I know Lanzell's saying, you know, we need to get more of them. But what do you think? Because, like you're saying, we are having issues with players not playing, and then even if we do have UCL, UWCL, and like you said, but even like you're talking about Conti Cup, you don't play it until like the quarters, and then that's kind of a tough side. I mean, we've had an all right run where we did get Ahern and Barry in for a couple of minutes, but what do you think is the next? How do you think that it'll work? Is it just them going into higher teams, or is it them just coming straight to us now? Like you're saying, they've been at Burnley kind of teams. Should they go in the Championship, or should they come straight to United now?
I think straight coming to United would halt your career for a while because you won't get the minutes. So I'd say I'll take up a risk and send them to Championship first of all. Clubs like Bristol, London City, so Lewis. So you send these players to those clubs, who are in a fight to get promoted. And if you get promoted, that creates a lot of difference on your mentality as well. So I'd like to see some of these players doing that, and if not that, then WSL. But I'd say a big club, you have to be the best of the best. You have to be better than the first team players if you want to get minutes at a very big club like United. I know, like, there's been issues around the squad management lately, but yeah, uh, but that is a huge topic that we need to talk about in the coming weeks because
Mm.
we are seeing how drastically it's affecting our campaign as well in terms of match sharpness among the squad players. But personally, I'd say it's Championship right now, and either Kiera or Alicia Ahan need to be in the first team next season and should be getting some minutes. Uh, I don't know if there's a way for a dual registration where they can be with the first team and be at another first team. I know it's a conflict of interest, but if there is something like this, that'll also make a huge difference. But I think Alicia Ahern is ready for that next jump. I remember I used to say the same thing for Karna, for Mars, and they're doing quite well. They're doing decent in the leagues that they are in. I think Karna is in the Norwegian league, and Mars is in the Frauen Bundesliga. So they are, playing well. They are starting on a regular basis. They are getting the minutes, but at United, you can't, like, there is always drama at United, so you can't guarantee whether you'll start or not. But I think Ahan needs to do better than, like, she's doing absolutely fantastic, but her next dual registration needs to be much better than Burnley because we've seen how well she's playing at Burnley. I'd say even Jess is ready for WSL. I'm staying straight to WSL because we've seen her play. Like you mentioned, the semi-finals of the League Cup. I think it was against Birmingham, and you were the only one who was giving us the updates, and we did a tweet thread on during that time as well. And Jess Simpson won us the game. I remember she got injured and she had to be subbed off. But that game, whatever I heard from you, whatever I heard from the other people who went there and were posting on Twitter, I think Jess Simpson is a very, very good player, and her impact on the dev side is similar to what Una's impact is on the senior team to some extent. And I think Jess is also ready for the next jump. But either one of Alicia Ahern or Kiera Bahari at in the first team with getting some minutes as well would be fantastic. I'm not going to say both of them because if both of them are there, the competition increases and one of them will end up getting 0 minutes. So yeah, that's why I think I'll say Ahan is ready.
Yeah, that's one I think. Ahern, I think, I think there's I think we know. I mean, it pains me to say this, but Rambo is likely to go. She wants to be a first teamer. She wants to play. So for me, I mean, I don't know if Saf is ready to be number two. You know, for me, she was the player of the match. I'm not saying like, oh, been Bagley off or anything, but we're talking about bringing players through, and I mean, when does Bagley play? When she play, like say a Durham in the cup or whatever, these
Like
kind of
even in the
things.
FA Cup, we haven't seen Bagley
Bagley
play.
much. It's
Yeah.
only in the Conte, and then we didn't even really get out the thing. So for me, if we're gonna play like Saf, I'd be put her as number two next year. I don't know if she's ready. I don't, obviously it's on Ian Wilcock,
But
and
the development would halter in my opinion because she won't be getting the minutes that she's getting right now. But yeah, like you do have a point that she's been playing well. She deserves to be in that goalkeeper union. And but you mentioned Bagley, and we already saw that she's not getting those minutes. That's why, like, I think that it'll halter Safia's development. But I also agree from where you're coming from because you've already seen her, and today as well, you are saying that she was the player of the match.
yeah, definitely. I mean, some of the saves, Atanu, there was a one big header, and I don't know if I said this on the pot, but someone was a bit further and she just headed it, and I couldn't believe she kept it out. And this is where we're at with her. She did make a couple of mistakes. I think that, yeah, but I think it's make them, and I feel sorry for this, but make the mistakes at Coventry, make them in the academy. Yeah, maybe, but I think she's now played at Coventry and she did very well for them. They're raving about her. For me, I would put her in another championship team maybe then next year, because that's what we did with Rambo. I know Rambo, like you said, it's looking like might go now. I get it. I get she wants to play. She's at the top of Lionesses. But Saf, I think Wales, not no disrespect to Wales, but she will still continue to play. And I feel like having that debut with Wales, then playing the 4 or 5 games that she has with Coventry. That's why I'm seeing the best of her now. You know, because she's too good for academy. But that's why I'm seeing these kind of
Yeah.
saves. Like I said, there's still the little concentration kind of mistake, but they can work on that. Yeah, giving it away, this kind of thing. It's like I said, do it now. Do it in the academy.
You have to make mistakes to start learning, basically.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Um, Listen, we have been talking for quite a while, Atanu. I know. I don't know if there's like anyone who's watching. I know it's only a couple because we've sort of come to it late. So if you're watching it after, you can put comments in, and I'll come to them because this is, I suppose, one of my many passions. Obviously, I love the first team, but it's just something about them little ones that I just like you're saying, we're still watching Maz in the Fran Bundesliga, and when she scores, it's important for us, keeping up to date with Chloe and Neve while we're doing this stream, And I saw someone like it that used to be a dev and now is sort of a really top player in the championship, So it's really important. The devs, I always say they're like, people say, oh, you can't say that, but like they're like my favorite team. Um, Obviously, I love the first team. Everyone knows that, but the devs are just like my favorite team, and it was so good to see them today. And if any of them watch this later, the young ones coming through, that's just what they need to keep doing, and it's like refreshing, and it's refreshing to see the old ones sort of encourage them. And then they're obviously doing what they're doing in first teams. So, is there any questions? Any question that you think, Atanu, whether it's like you're saying the league and how it sets up and who we're likely to play? Like I said, it's like to be Arsenal. If we do win our remaining games, and the remaining games in the league are the ones that I think we'll struggle with are the Chelsea, which we've got on the weekend this weekend, and then we have City. But
City.
I think we should at the in the week, and then we have
Villa.
um, Villa, and it's Villa that I think will struggle. They're a really top seat team. They're obviously level with us now. It's at their
And
place,
we play Villa within 3 days of the City game as well, so it's back to back.
back to back to back to back to then to the final to then to the probably the league thing. So yeah, the double is on. We love the girls no matter what, whether they win that or not. You know, I was told that not like I was told don't have your expectations that they're gonna do that against the fact that they're challenging for it and it's coming back to back to back like it was last year. This is what we did last year. Let's go and do it again. For me, we are the best academy in the England. I know people have got their own things. That's fine, but for me, we're far superior. I think the technique that we have is just absolutely different level. Like you said, I don't watch the South a lot, but I mean, we even said to it, didn't we, Turner? I just think the South is good. Obviously, Arsenal and Chelsea, but then I think it's them two that run away. Whereas I feel like in our league, anyone can beat everyone, and
Like
that's
in the
obviously
south, honestly, like people might say, oh, why is he saying that? I think uh, except Arsenal and Chelsea, I don't see somebody coming up and emulating what United did last season. But while in Northern Division we have Villa, we've got Birmingham, we've got Durham, we've got United. So I'm not saying that the other teams in Southern Division are bad, but relatively speaking, Northern Division is a little hard to play in.
mm, mm, definitely because, like you said, isn't it? I think you mentioned two teams there, Birmingham and Durham. They're not easy. They beat everyone. They beat all the South teams as well. So
Yeah.
it's these are the teams, maybe the Villa even. I know Carla was doing great things for the first team, but and she brings through the pathway. They have the pathway there. You can see it. Evie Rabjon is coming through, 17, playing. Just come back, and that's what I want for us. Really, our players, should be playing. I think it'll come. I get the pressure's different at Villa to us, but listen, I agree with what you're saying. And people sort of talk about and expect, the top three, they've got the best young players. No, not necessarily. Like we're saying, Birmingham, very good players there. Durham, They have their style. They play their style. And them players that are playing for Durham, I'm sure they'll get minutes in the championship and be playing in Durham's first team. A lot of them, because that is like watching the first team. Durham. That's how they
And they
play.
put they put up a good fight today as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And I don't mean that. I don't want people to be like, oh, disrespecting Durham. No, I wasn't. That they will get in Durham's first team, and then maybe some of them will go further. That's what it's about. But
Hmm.
listen, guys, is there any more questions? I'm seeing that. I'm saying United way. Get Eric to give a team talk. Yeah, definitely. I think Charlotte even last year we did it the back to back to back to back and ended up winning them all. We had to win like 5 games in a row or something. Like you're saying, back to back, 3 days between a lot of them, and we did it. And you know, no rest. But there's no rest when you want to win trophies, and that's what the first team are finding no rest. Keep playing every weekend, and get to a final, and then like obviously Champions League, fighting for the league kind of thing. Atanu, is there anything that you think, just in terms of this little wrap up, and like I said, it's a last minute thing. I know there's not loads of people on, but is there any questions, guys, that you think, or Atanu, that you think, I need to answer this?
Namrata has asked one, so I'll
Yeah, yeah,
put it up on the screen.
yeah. We said Ahern and Barry, but I said Namrata, and listen, people who are watching say, I think Saf can be number two. I know that's a very bold, very, very bold. I think there's a lot of work for her to do, but I do think she can be number two. We know that Rambo might be on the way out. Bagley, obviously, she's number two and this and that. And we don't want Saf's development to falter, but I think she's of the level of Bagley. Her ceiling is a lot higher. Obviously, I love Sophie. Wish her, whatever. I'm not trying to slag her off, and I hope that this is not coming across as me slagging her off. But Saf is very, 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 very talented. Saf will be number three. I think she'll go out on loan again to the championship, a full loan, full season loan. Because then there's Jen Handy there in the 21s, who's on the bench currently. So you know, Saf, Barry, Ahern, these are the players. Namrat is saying there. Oh, I can click it. Oh, some of them to get a few minutes in the easier cup games. Yeah, when we're winning 2 or 3. You're preaching to the converted with that. Preaching to the converted. I think though the problem that we've got obviously is that people like Leon, Tukara, this one, that one aren't even getting games. Vilda, why should she come off? I get it, because then she's never going to come back into the league. And this is the problem that is then impacting the young ones. Because Emma Hayes, she was up 2-3 goals to Reading and brought on 5 17-year-olds, because I don't think that it's Mark don't believe in them or don't trust them or this and that. I just think that if you're Leon and then you saw Barry and Ahern getting, it's not a good look. And I feel like once we sort out the issues that we already have in terms of rotation, then we'll see then it'll be easier. Because I don't want them to come in to the first team and feel away because they're getting a place over, senior internationals. We need to sort out that problem first. But like you say, that's why I do think it makes it Saf. For me, it just screams ready to go. I don't know. I get it. I don't want to hinder her development, but I think she's ready for number two now. I know that. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. I do think she needs one more loan in the championship. Like I said, top of the championship, bottom of the WSL. Bottom of the WSL, it might burst the confidence. Who I don't know. I don't know what you think. Do you think, if she was conceding and Arsenal were running rings around her? I mean, do you think? What do you think, Atanu? What do you?
I think
What do you
I'll
like? Yeah.
prefer I'll prefer, like, for example, if I am a development player, I'd prefer a move to the championship and help a side get promoted, rather than getting like conceding so many goals, because overall the quality of the defense, like in front of you, isn't that good that you will be able to not concede. Of course, like if you are in the WSL, you'll obviously concede. Even United concede, even Chelsea concede. But uh, when you're at a club, at a lower level club, I'll not list the teams, but you are more prone to conceding 6 goals, 7 goals against top sides, and I can understand it can be a learning experience, but after a while, when your defense isn't that good, when the overall quality of the squad isn't that good, it can be detrimental to your confidence as well. So I'd much rather prefer to see Safia in a promotion battle with somebody from the championship, because it'll boost her confidence as well. Not only Safia, any other player from the development side. I'd say Jess is ready for the WSL, but for the point that I just mentioned, I'd love to see her in a promotion challenge in the championship. And what Namrata asked, like Natalie's answer is Safia. I'd say just because we haven't seen Sophie start a lot in the cup games, I don't want Safia to come here. And like Natalie also mentioned, that there is this issue that it might hinder her development even more, because right now sky's the limit for Safia, because she's still very young and she can reach higher ceilings than people think. So I'd say Ahern is one name which I think can come into the first team. I personally want her to be in the first team, but then again, you don't see much rotation, you don't see much game time being given to the squad players. So I don't know whether she'll get any game time. Of course, there are these issues, like Nat mentioned. Once they are sorted out, maybe we can think more about it. But as of now, we are a little cautious to list out players, because there's this risk of them not getting minutes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't wish them to go down. I don't think they will anyway. But I mean, Lanzell's saying here, let me post this one. If Leicester goes down, a few players to Willie Kirk. And I mean, I hope Willie would stay with him, but I think that would be great. Definitely, I think they're playing very good attacking football. I think they're probably going to keep that keeper. But
Nat, yeah.
Hearn going there, because I think they'll bounce back up anyway. So I think definitely a Hearn going there would just kill it if
Let's
they
do
won the
one last.
championship.
Yeah, let's do one last question. In the remaining games, who do you think would be the best performer
Out
from
of
the
all
academy?
our devs,
Yeah, if all are fit.
God, if all are fit, a Hearn. That's
If the team that started today,
the team that started today. It's hard, man.
so
You're putting me under the
make
pressure. Name, read
Megan
out the team.
Sofield,
Go on.
Megan Sofield, Safia Middleton Patel, Maisie Davis, Anna Fletcher, Emma Taylor, Ruby Scott, uh, Livingston, Holly Deering, Sasha McTiffin, Eleanor Ashton. That's over the top of my head right now. That was
Oh,
the team
I
that
thought you
played
had the
today.
list up in front of you, but you had the thing. Now, it's hard. Tamara Livingston was, I think, I hope I said her name right, please, um, was amazing. But she's under 16, and I feel like out of all the young ones, her, Anna Fletcher, Ruby Scott, they were the best young under 16s. In terms of the sort of more experienced ones, Emma Taylor was fantastic. I'd say even Maisie Davis was, and I've seen her versus Birmingham, absolutely amazing. But obviously, like I'm saying, Saf kept us in the game. And, but Isabel Reedford, 2 assists. I mean, like I've just said at the top of the show, guys, sorry you're going to have to go back to it if you're just joining now, but Megan, most natural goal scorer. But there's, for each player, I've got a but, because for me, Megan, she needs to do a bit more. She needs to be hot. She comes deep, she holds it up, she passes it off, then she'll run, but then she'll tire, so she had to come off towards the end. And when she's tiring, you don't see that Megan that you see. Eleanor, fantastic. The runs, the link up, the tenaciousness of it. But then technically, there's little bits that she can improve. Tamara, I think, like I said, growing into it. She's an under 16. She needs to develop more. But there's no doubt that technically she is very, very good. A lot of them technically are so good. Like we're saying, Anna Fletcher, they just need to, that development. That's all it is. It's the strength, the physicality, the game know how, the knowing when to pass and where to pass and being alive. Um, because it was Anna who passed it to Tamara, who then took the like
Cross.
cross shot kind of at the angle, and then Megan poked it in. And Megan at the start, Jesus, it was like, I don't even know. It was like Rashford, the way she was cutting in, banging these balls, and the keeper was having to make saves. But then Megan tired, so it's, they've. I don't. I'm not the coach, but I'm sure the coach will have little things that they all need to work on. So I can't say one name. I'm sorry. You know what? If I'm going to say one name, Saf, because I just think that she's ready now, and I think she can go into that first team and be that number two. Like I said, she can be better than a number two. Like I said, the sky's the limit. But yeah, that's the one name then. I know you've not seen it, Atanu, and no, you're just going off what I say. But who do you think then? Like,
This is wrong. I asked the question.
okay,
Uh, I think I've heard good things about Bella Rightfoot, and today as well she gave 2 assists. And then she's coming back after a long ACL injury, so there's that as well. I like to see a good comeback story, and this is a very good comeback story.
yeah,
Uh, I think if Jess is fit, I'd say Jess. I wanted to say Saf as well, but you've already said it, so I'll go with
yeah,
somebody else.
honorary,
I'd say if Jess is fit, then Jess. If Jess isn't fit, I'll say Bella Raidford. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing the name right.
yeah. No, you
Yeah,
said it right. But yeah, no, thank you everyone for watching, and thank you if you watch later because I know it's come up soon. But yeah, put a comments in. We'll get to them if there's questions and you think I really want you to answer that. Just put it on and we'll come back to them. Don't worry. And I'm sure Atani will do it again. Probably after the cup final when everyone has watched or something. Something like that. We'll look at doing that. Because I think it's important to keep talking about them and keep promoting them and hopefully like you said they win that league and then I don't think I can go to any more league games, but I'm sure I'll be able to figure out how to do if they get to that little
playoffs.
playoff thing. So
Yeah,
yeah, I appreciate it, innit, Tanu?
yeah.
So do you want to sign off? You're the boss today.
Yeah, I'll sign off. I think academy team right now, there's some good stuff happening, and I can't honestly wait to see how the remaining games go. It doesn't matter if we win, if we lose, if we get the double, if we don't get the double, because we're already proud of the team and the way they've put up a fight this season. At the end of the day, academy football isn't just about the wins, losses. It's about learning from your mistakes. It's about development, and this side has developed a lot both on the pitch and mentally as well. And I'd like to see us going again double, like doing the double again. But if for example if it doesn't happen, I'll be the biggest supporter and I'll be like, yes, they put up a fight, because before the season started everybody was like, this side is a lot different than the one that won the double. So you had to be cautious back then, but you can be optimistic right now. So yeah, remaining 3-4 games before the cup final, and after that hopefully some playoff games as well, in which Natalie can give us the updates, and similarly we can set up a stream like this and enjoy the win. Hopefully the women's team, the senior team, also win the FA Cup, so it will be double glory or a triple glory.
Yeah,
But yeah, fantastic to see how academy is doing, and thank you so much guys for joining in. I know it was a little impromptu from our side because the Twitter spaces weren't working, but yeah, I liked it. We've talked a lot about the academy, and I hope nobody takes any offense from what we've said. It's just like we like to talk about academy a lot. So
yeah,
yeah, that's that. And do support us. Do subscribe to our channel if you already haven't. Do follow Natalie on her Twitter, and do follow Only One United on our Twitter, because we do a little different content than we do on YouTube. And yeah, keep supporting Manchester United. Make sure if you can go to one of their games, one of the academy games, ensure that you'll try to do, or if you can't, you can watch the cup final on the FA Player and support the team. And I'm sure that the players would appreciate it a lot, because like Natalie said, when you go there, when you support them, they feel happy because you sing for them, because that's a little uncommon in academy football, and you show that you really care, that they are also part of the club, and that's what matters, inclusivity. And yeah, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.